Only 5% of the world's ocean has been physically explored. The mystery of that unknown used to frighten me. Encapsulated with the fear to swim, the fear of potentially drowning by the attempt. I wouldn't go further where my feet couldn't touch the ground. A sense of fabricated security. One day I put my full trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and jumped into the world of wonders. And I started to float.
I'm gonna leave the country. Nadifah Abdur-Rasheed is going to leave the country. Nadifah is going to leave the country. Y'all.
A week later, I was off. I packed light, my single backpack and a one-way ticket. Packing light felt metaphorical, only taking what I'll need and leaving the rest. Applying a practice of detaching myself from tangible worldly possessions. A physical representation of closing my previous chapter and allowing room in my life to start a new one.
I am in the Chicago airport and I'm pulling an all-nighter because my flight was delayed and it's not coming until 9 a.m. tomorrow. I'm just really excited to actually get on the plane to go to Ethiopia because my layover there is only 1 hour and I'll be flying to Somalia. I think the craziest thing about all of this is that I don't feel scared or I don't feel anxious or I don't feel like I'm not going to be capable. I feel super calm.
The plane ride to Ethiopia was 14 hours. It honestly was pretty relaxing and comfortable. I was surrounded by people with good conversation, and I did nothing but anticipate my arrival. Alhamdulillah. There's so much beauty in being a beginner. To be a blank canvas in a land so new. I am becoming a sponge, soaking up all of which I do not understand. I have discovered an abundant amount of joy, finding the beauty and the lessons in the little moments, remaining present even during instances of uncertainty and discomfort, as a reminder that within the breaths of hardships is soon the birth of ease. To encourage your gratitude when the sweetness of ease does appear. And man, it's truly a blessing when it is sweet. Alhamdulillah. Since moving, slowness has been a luxury. Silence allows a connection to God beyond what words can express. I've been learning how to reach out for a helping hand without the fear of rejection being attached, ensuring that I remember that it is human nature to yearn for care. Western ideas are so individualized. We forget the importance of community. I've been taking notice of the amount of distractions I've been falling victim to while living in America. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, this worldly life is only amusement and diversion. Since moving to a Muslim country, you focus more on what matters, your faith, your family, and your purpose. Since moving to Somalia, I can feel God in the air. Subhanallah. Assalamu alaikum everyone, my name is Nadifah, and in this latter half of the video we're going to be discussing all of the ways that growing up in America and being endoused in American culture started to disrupt my healing. One of the first reasons that American culture was disrupting my healing placed monetary gain over spiritual gain which in the long term is actually very detrimental to just like the way the atmosphere feels. America is very consumerism and capitalistic based. It is a country of mass production. It makes a lot of money off the backs of others. In order to do that, you have to place a value over monetary gain over spiritual gain. But for me personally, it just was not doing anything to aid in my progression with my being and my beliefs and my spirituality, and it was actually halting it. And as soon as you walk out your house, even before that, you're being sold something, like whether that's on your phone or whatever. And granted, Western ideals and like capitalism and like all those things have just, spread it all throughout the world. However, being completely submersed in the atmosphere of America can be draining. America does not prioritize religion or spirituality. If anything, there is a sense of like mocking towards religion, which I find really baffling, because if anything, America needs a bit of guidance. A bit is definitely me being humble. It needs guidance, because we could talk about all the ways that America is backwards, but I just knew for me, I needed to go. Another reason why I really had to leave America temporarily to focus on my spiritual and personal healing was because American culture is not really family oriented. It's very individualized, and that is something that is very secular and also a liberalist idea, to be all men for themselves, everyone individualized. And I think individualism is beautiful in the sense of everyone having their own spiritual journey. But I feel like liberalism and secularism and like the ways that is just super over encompassing in America, it makes individualism a way that is almost anti-unity. I may be kind of saying that in a way that may be not 100% correct, but at least that's what it feels like to me. It feels like everyone's like all men for themselves. And I think that we weren't created in this world to operate on their own. There was an elder once that gave me an analogy that I thought was beautiful, and it really stuck with me for a while. He got one stick and he broke it. One stick and he broke it easily. He took a bunch of sticks, piled them all together in one nice little pillar, tried to break it. You feel me? And it couldn't break. It couldn't break, subhanAllah. And I think that is what we need, is community. And I think that like the family dynamics in America are just crumbling. And I think that like that is the basis on creating a unified community. It starts with the family. You have the family structure that's solid, and you have multiple family structures. You have a neighborhood, you have a whole bunch of neighborhoods, you have a community, and so on and so forth. But I think that American culture doesn't have the solid foundational grounds to build off of, to be able to have the unconditional love for family. I wanted to be somewhere where people respect the people they see. They see Assalamu alaikum when they see them. They smile when you see them in the streets. And it's not like everyone isn't on guard in a way where there's so much animosity and so much hate. And even if it's not completely directed towards a person, it's just kind of radiating off of everybody. Because honestly, if I was overly consumed and I worship monetary gain and status, and I worked a 9 to 5 and only had 48 hours of rest, and I did that consecutively, and I did not believe in a higher power and thinking about something being bigger, my heart would be stone cold. So I get the direct demeanor that is happening. However, it just started to weigh down on me. Another reason why I wanted to leave was because I wanted to be with my maternal side of the family. I grew up in America. I grew up in the South, and I've only known my paternal side of the family because my dad's side of the family was born in America, and my mom's side of the family was born in Somalia. Only known my mother's side of the family through phone calls, through pictures, through stories, not in a way that was like I can hold them, I can hug them. And I felt like that part of me has been missing for a really long time, and like that was a huge um, a huge pillar for my healing at the moment was to improve my deen, my Islamic values, improve my iman, strengthen it, grow a deeper love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, while also strengthening my relationship with my culture and my maternal side of the family. And that's been so healing for me, and I'm so eternally grateful, alhamdulillah. Another reason why I wanted to leave America, to be honest, a lot of these reasons are really entangled, and a lot of it has to do with the lack of appreciation and value of religion in America, because I think that a lot of my reasons trickle down from that core reason, if that makes sense. The segue of that was the way that we treat celebrity culture and or social media, the way that we advertise ourselves. Everything's an advertisement. Everything has to be monetized, bro. Like there's no like true purpose other than people wanting to climb the status ladder. Granted though, I think like I'm not hating on that sentiment. I think that with good intentions and good reasons, I think that some people can make a lot of big changes, the community and the crowd that they cultivate. However, I do think that America has a celebrity worship problem. It's just kind of disturbing, almost, if I'm being honest. If I'm being honest, and I'm not even talking about like the A-list celebrities. Like I mean them too, but like also too, I think social media kind of like cultivates this like everyone thinks they're a celebrity thing, and everyone's like super egotistical, and I don't know. I just feel like the priorities just don't be they don't be given. The priorities be everywhere. I think like, and granted, I'm not saying that people don't have that like egotistical stance in like literally any other country. Like they have that in Somalia too. They have that everywhere. But it's just the magnitude of it. I think when you're in a Muslim country and overall everyone knows the epitome of perfection and the epitome of like of greatness and power is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I think that is just like a general census, but I think that when you go places that are like more secular, like America, France, you feel what I'm saying? Like it's not like that. I'm not saying that I will never move back to America, but I can say wholeheartedly that I want to be there long term and raise families there and things like that. I think that I found so much beauty in places where God is on the top end. And also life that is just so much slower. I think I appreciate that so much more. I think that the A's to my feminine nature, like I just love the slowness of it, the family orientedness of like being in a Muslim country, the food. You can't miss it. It's delicious. The culture, the food, the clothes, the mannerisms, like all of it, like alhamdulillah. And I wouldn't have it any other way. And I think that I may get a lot of hate for the way that I'm talking about America, and I think that a lot of people have a lot of want and need to want to come to America due to the opportunities and things like that. So I can say that I am in a privileged state to say that I have the ability to go somewhere else and then come back to America. I do have that privilege, so I do know that. However, I'm just acknowledging the spiritual and personal difficulties that I've been having while growing up in America. And even though the move that I made was a temporary move, it was a much needed move. And I think that I needed to recenter myself. And American culture is very fast paced, and it's just very difficult to kind of catch your breath. Whether you engage with people or not, there's like an energetic field of how people think. I think that you won't 100% know what I'm talking about until you move to a Muslim country. You feel God in the air, like subhanAllah, you feel God in the air when you go to a Muslim country. And you really don't feel that in America. Everyone's kind of, this might sound morbid, but just floating in despair, to be honest. But that is like what happens when you kind of don't know, when you're kind of feeling directionless. That is a sad feeling. It's a desperate feeling. And I think that like in cases like that and you don't know what to lean on, you lean on what people are telling you to lean on. There was a video I saw, it was from the sister, I cannot remember her name exactly, so if you know what I'm referring to, please let me know. down below. She was discussing that everybody is a slave to something. Everyone is. You can't help it. We're human. We latch ourselves onto something. Everyone is a slave to something, whether that be your job, whether that be love, whether that be a relationship, whether that be, it could be anything. But she was going on to say, which I completely agree with, that I would much rather be a slave to the one who is perfect and the one that created me and I will return to. That is who I want to be completely devoted to. And I want to be in a place where you feel that everywhere. Well, that is all for this video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you like the content that you saw, please do not hesitate to subscribe or just, keep up with me. If you're not sure yet, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not gonna hate you. But yeah, I hope to see you again, and we'll be here on the next one. Bye bye.